Hello, today we're going to do things a little bit differently. Instead of doing the cross stitching first, I want to show you who won, well not who, which cross stitch pattern won from last week's Flosstube. So if you haven't been here before, in the last Flosstube, last Mondays, I asked everybody to pick my next cross stitch pattern for my Christmas start, because every year I like to start one on around Christmas time, usually the week before Christmas I like to start, but I wanted to do it a little bit earlier to make sure that I had all of the floss, the fabric and the hoops and everything. So the winner of that one was Prefect Bathroom. I'll put a picture here, and it actually only had, was it 53? Yeah, I think it was 53 colours, so it's actually been quite easy to order the stuff. I've done it this morning already because I'm recording on Saturday, which was the day that I wanted to stop counting the votes. Most of the cross stitch patterns got one vote each, but that one won by a couple. I think the runner-up was Night Raven. So anyway, I'm really excited to start Prefect's Bathroom. I have bought all of the floss. I think I had to substitute 5 colours because I couldn't find 5 of the colours, so they're going to have to be substituted. I went with the person that I usually go with for my cross stitch floss, because typically I buy CXC thread. So I've gone with the lady she's on Etsy and she's on eBay, and she goes by the name Object Book. So I've ordered from her, but she didn't have 5 of the flosses, so I've sent her an email asking if she can substitute them for a similar colour, because she does that quite a lot, and I don't have a problem with having a substituted colour as long as I have the right amount before I start cross stitching, just to keep the same colour, because sometimes, I've done it with Lord of the Rings actually, which I really shouldn't have done. I only buy one skein of floss, because if there's like 100 odd colours, which Lord of the Rings has, I think it's 120 colours, and Pokemon has 150 colours, I've only bought one skein of each colour because of how expensive it gets. But the problem that you run into with that is if when you run out of one skein and you need more, which a lot of the times you do, you can get different die counts? Sometimes they're a slightly different colour than the first shade of skein that you bought, so die lots. So sometimes they can come out in a slightly different colour, but I'm not too worried about it. It's a very confetti heavy picture, Lord of the Rings, so that's why I just didn't bother. But with this one, I have bought all of the stuff that I need straight away, because most of the colours I only need one skein of each colour. I think the black is obviously what I need the most of, because if you've seen in the picture, or I've left it up, most of it is black, so there's a lot of black outlining, there's a big black border, and I have a big cone of 310, so I'm not worried about the black. There's another one colour that I think needs 2 skeins of floss, so that's not an issue. So that's all been bought. I bought the fabric, I bought the floss, and I actually made an order for some new hoops, because I will show you some hoops. The hoops that I'm using at the minute in some of these cross stitch patterns are really starting to bug me. They're not the typical circle ones, they're the like rectangle shape star ones, and I don't like them. They don't hold the fabric tight enough, so I'm going to change a couple of them for the same hoop that's on the Lord of the Rings one, because that is a Nurge hoop, and that's the only one I have, and I really get on with that one quite well. It holds the fabric really tight, so I'll show you that in a minute. I've also come into an issue again with Gamer Girl. I did start it this week, but I only did 119 stitches, so I think I'll show you that one first just to get it out of the way. If you watched last week's video, I mentioned that I got all of the stuff for it, but one colour was missing, and that one colour that is missing happens to be the background colour. And because I start in the top left and I go across, I don't do a middle start, I always start in the top left on full coverage pieces. I always start in the top left, and that is the colour that I need right now. So I've asked the lady for a refund on the 317 is what I'm waiting for. And she's actually been really helpful. She said that there's a huge issue at the minute with finding DMC 317. And I think a couple of other shops don't have it in stock right now, but I have got it in CXC instead of DMC. So I managed to find it from the same seller that I bought the Prefix bathroom floss from. So that is all done. So when they turn up, I can get a better start on Gamer Girl, but I will show you. It's a teeny little start because I didn't want to go too far from the corner where all the background is and miscount. So I'm just going to wait, but I'll show you what I got up to this week with my cross stitch patterns. Right, so Gamer Girl had a really measly start, and I'll put the picture on my face. Really measly start. It's is it like there's a star here. You can see this little star coming through, and that's the corner. But all of this surrounding area is 317 that I don't have. These are the hoops that I'm talking about that I don't like with these attachments here. I really don't like these hoops. They are not tight enough. I can still feel it moving inside here. And I've got quite a few of these. My stamped cross stitch is on one of these, so I'm going to be changing them all out when these other hoops turn up. So yeah, that's Gamer Girl. I did 119 stitches, didn't count the percentage or anything. As soon as the 317 turns up, I'm going to make a really good start on this one because I just want to get a start done now because it's actually really annoying me. So that's that one. Okay, so we'll do the stamped kit now. This one is from Oraloa. And it's called Dawn Until Dusk, or Dawn Till Dusk, or something like that. But I will put a picture here. I have almost finished the flower, but this hoop is driving me nuts. So this one's going to be getting changed out for one of the nerd hoops. When I've finished this flower, I think I've only got a little bit here to do. There's actually more colours in this flower than what I expected there to be, but it is nice and bright when you hold it back here. It's looking really good. As I said in the other floss tubes, I'm going to do one of the moths down here next. I think I'm going to move down to here and do a moth. I think I've roughly worked on this about 3 hours this week. Thought I'd have already finished the flower by now, but unfortunately I didn't get it done. But there's not that much left. I'd say it's going to take me about another hour to fill that in. There's just a few bits here that need doing. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 colour changes in that last piece of the flower petals, and then this flower's done. So I'm quite happy with the progress, but I would have liked to have finished the petals, but never mind. Okay, so now we're on to Lord of the Rings. Unfortunately, I didn't finish the page. I am a little bit annoyed with myself that I didn't finish the page, but I underestimated yet again how long this page was going to take me. So, almost finished it, but didn't quite get there. And this is a nerd hoop. This is the ones that I was talking about a little while ago. Not sure what size this one is, but if you look at the fixings on the top, it is a lot more sturdy and it holds the fabric so tight. I also bought some of these magnetic clips. I hate them, they're rubbish. This one's only holding because I messed about with it. I ended up gluing the magnets that came with it inside the silicone, excuse me, and then gluing another magnet on top because they're not strong enough. I was actually talking to a lady who runs a shop called Sugar Skull Crafts. She made the project bag for this thing. She made the project bag for this pattern, and she was talking about doing grime guards, because if I let go, all of this fabric here, typically I stitch with all this hanging out, so I will just stitch and I'll have it underneath my arm and I'll just move it out of the way. I don't cover the fabric, so I thought, well, while I wait for her to see if she can actually do them, because she said she's never done them before. She was thinking of doing grime guards and a project bag as a bundle, which I need loads of other project bags anyway, so I was waiting to see. I know I can get them from other places, but I wanted to see if she could do them first. I picked up some of these because apparently these were pretty good, and they're rubbish. I hate them. I don't know if it's just certain brands are better than others, but these are crap. So I'm going to go through the others. I think I bought a set of 10 and glue magnets to them. I probably need about 3 or 4, 2 on this side, perhaps 2 under here, because this is the left side, so there's no fabric this side just yet. But if they work, they would have been really good. It's just I can't use them without altering them. So back to Lord of the Rings. I will put a picture of the original image on me. I did 1,178 stitches this week, and that gives me a total of 1.82%. So we're getting close to 2%, sort of. And I think I want to change the way I stitch this week coming up. I think what I'm going to do is, I actually got this idea from another Flosstuber. Her name is Crafting Gaming Jamie, I think. I'll leave her channel in the description below. I'm sure that's her name. But anyway, she has a big project that she's doing, and she does 200 stitches a day on the big project before she does her other projects for the day. So I think this week I might try and do the same thing with this, just so I can have a little bit of a break from it, because I worked on this for 4 days this week and still didn't finish the page, and it actually quite frustrated me. One day I did 279 stitches, another day I did 355, and then as the days were going by I was getting 182, and I was just getting really slower. And I think it's because I'm getting a bit fed up with it. So I think what I'll do is stitch on this every day this week, but stop when I get to the 150 to 200 point. If I'm fed up with it, I'll stop at 150, and then I'll go on to another project for the rest of the night, just to change, just to get out of the rhythm of doing it. Because this one's quite difficult to stitch, actually. It's getting really difficult with all the confetti to struggle. I'm struggling with the canvas because of the count that I picked. I picked 28 count, and ideally I should have picked 25, just to give me a little bit more maneuverability with the needle, with all the confetti changes. The back is getting quite lumpy, which I'm not happy with, but there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just gonna have to just go with it, and I'm not restarting it now. I'm not restarting. I don't like restarting, so I'm gonna just go with it and change the way I'm stitching it. So I will try it this week and see how it goes. I'll do 150 to 200 stitches before I do anything else that night, and then with the rest of my time that night I'll see what I can get done on other projects. So yeah, that's that one. So for the last one this week, it seems to be a bit of a favourite in the Facebook group, my Facebook group Darkxstitch. People seem to like this one more than all of the other projects that I'm doing at the minute, and it is Darth Daddy. And I think that could be because Mandy Manzano is licensed to diamond painting companies, and a lot of people like her artwork. So this week I did 1,067 stitches, and that brought me up to 42.44%. So I was basically just working in this page here, and I'm really liking all the purple colours that are coming through now. It really blends better. Up here there's a few random stitches of like lighter blue, and I was a bit worried about them at first. But it's looking nice. I'll put a picture on my face of the original image, and I'm marked out where the black is going to be for Princess Leia. So that's going to be where she is, and then the rest should be down here. So I'm getting closer to Darth Vader. But yeah, my goal for this one is to finish all of this before Christmas. So this will be a focus for the rest of the year. I don't really, if you've never watched any of my other YouTube videos, I don't have like a focus, and I kind of stitch what I want when I want. But this was my Christmas start last year, and it'd be nice just to finish, just to look better for me. It'd make me feel better if I finish these 2 pages before Christmas. So you will see this one quite often before Christmas, just to get that part done, and then I will probably put it away for a few weeks after Christmas to do other things. But that is the last one I did this week. To be fair, I did do a fair bit of stitching. I did have a really busy week. We had my son's birthday, Halloween, hospital appointments, doctor's appointments, eye tests. I babysat, my daughter came over. It's been a real busy week in terms of like family life, but I still managed to get a fair bit of stitching done. So I am pleased with that, and I am really happy with that one. Today I am on my own for a good couple of hours, so I'm going to get a good bit of stitching in today, but I don't know which one to do, so that's the problem. Do I try and do the, actually what I'll do is do the 200 on Lord of the Rings and then see what time I've got left. So if I do the 200 during the day, that would give me loads of time at night to do something else. I'm going to actually pick up my Heaven and Earth design this week. Poinsettia Pixie, I'll put a picture on me again, so I'm going to do a bit more of that, and then I don't know, probably Darth Daddy. The kids are back at school now, so homeschooling is back, so that's why I've been doing the stamped kit, so I'll probably work more on that. You'll see Lord of the Rings obviously, because I'm going to try the 150 to 200 stitches a day, see how many, I want to see the difference in how many stitches I can get, because I've noticed I average about 1,000 and a couple of hundred stitches a week on Lord of the Rings, stitching it for like 3 or 4 days a week. So I want to see the difference in stitching 150 to 200 stitches during the day plus other things. I want to see if that way of working makes it more efficient type thing. So I will let you go, and I will see you next Monday. With any luck, I will have the floss for the winner, prefect's bathroom, and then I can start the dreaded job of kitting up ready for Christmas, because I'm going to start that one on the week of Christmas, I think. Yeah, sounds good. Right, I will see you next Monday. Have a good week, everyone. Bye-bye.